Little upgrade on the 12. It's going to come in handy later this year for sure, this spring. One positive about today is that the sun is out and it is beaming. It's 18 degrees right now. I actually got out, took the kids to school this morning, an hour and a half ago. It was 18 degrees. It is now 9:30 and it hasn't warmed up at all. I'm hoping it gets up to about 25 today. I think that's probably gonna be our high. So it's still gonna be very, very cold. I'd say my line is gonna freeze. And yeah, that might cause a little bit of issues, but it's okay guys, because it's calling for freezing rain, snow, everything this weekend. So we're gonna get out today while we can. Fish, we actually was gonna fish a tournament Saturday. It ended up getting canceled. They're moving it to February. Good thing is we've got a tournament next weekend on the 18th, so I'm hoping a lot of the snow from this weekend goes away, because I'm ready to get out there and I'm ready to fish. But yeah, we're doubled up on socks, wool socks. We've got on 2 layers of like underwear, like long johns. We've got on this AFCO hoodie so I can cover up my face. We've got a toboggan. We've got my rain gear in the back, which isn't insulated, but it should help from the wind. Wind isn't gonna be bad, maybe 2 miles an hour, so it should be good. And we've got some hot hands, guys, so we should stay warm. We should stay warm. And let me show you how cold it is. I left this water in the truck, and then my daughter left her little cup in here, and that's solid ice. So yeah, she's a little chilly, but I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to fish. So let's jump on the interstate, get out here to the lake, and drag around a Ned, drag around a jig, see if these fish are out a little bit deeper. And I think we'll catch a few guys. So yeah, winter fishing don't bother me as long as we can stay a little bit warm, and I think we're going to be able to do that today with some layers on. So we'll see. Let's get out here, let's have some fun, and see what we can do, boys. Let's go. This is gonna be a bit of a challenge. Wind's not bad. I'm not that cold. My face is cold, but my body's warm with this suit, wool socks and stuff on. But my drive is frozen. It won't go in reverse. There it goes. I put it in the water. It's already thawed out, so that's good. Water is 41 degrees, so very, very cold. Got our hot hands warmed up. Put them in our pockets. Get out here and fish. I guess what I'm gonna do is we'll fish a little bit deeper today. I'm gonna fish some of these offshore spots. I'm gonna fish some of these creek channels, the mouths of these creek channels, some of these little points. I'm gonna drag around a Ned, and I'm gonna drag around a jig and see if we can catch some of these fish out here in this little bit deeper water. I'm gonna fish anywhere from like 15 to probably 25 to 30 foot. And like I said, see if those fish are out there. Like I said, this water temps, it's up to 42.5 right now. The air temp is, I think I'm up to about 20 degrees right now, so she's cold. But if we can sit out here and this wind stays kind of calm, I should be able to catch some fish off these points out here off this creek channel. There's a little bit of rock out there at the very end, and I can drag that net around or that jig, and I can feel those. Usually when I feel those rocks, it's about the time I get bit. And I caught a couple 3-pounders, right around 3-pounders, about a week or so ago. It wasn't this cold though, so we'll see how that goes. Got a fish on, dragging the net. Number one head rig. It wasn't very deep, but he's still offshore. He's out there. There's a pile of rocks out there, and that's where he was sitting. Not very big, but I'll take it. Not a big one, but he was out there. Fish on. Little guy, but he was down there. Old Ned rig, 24 foot of water. That's where I'm sitting. He probably wasn't in 24 foot, but he's probably in 15 to 20. Another little guy, but point is catching fish. That's what we come out here for. That's what we're gonna do. It's 2 on a Ned. I'm gonna keep throwing that jig around too. I kind of like to see which one gets bit a little bit more. Whoops, it's freezing up on me. I'll get another one out through here. Gosh, even the water that's falling on my kayak from the fishing rod and stuff it's freezing. Ice on my seat. Golly. Crazy, crazy. Hey, but guess what, guys? Guess what? Number one thing. I'm out here, I'm fishing. I'm not that cold. Like I said, my hands are a little cold, my body feels good. There's nobody else here. I'm by myself. I'm out here. There's no ski boats. There's no jet skis. There's no bass boats. I'm by myself, and I love it. Love it. Get out there. Basically what I'm doing, I'm sitting out here on this drop off and I'm casting up shallow and dragging it out, letting it just fall off. Got to put this thing in front of one of them in a minute, I'd imagine. On. I think it's a good one too. I don't have a net either. Definitely a good fish, guys. He's right up there off that creek channel. Look, a good one. I can't see him. No, he's not that big. Felt good though, man. But he was out there. I guess it's because he was out a little deeper, a little further out. Right where I thought he was going to be. He felt big, man. Little buddy was putting up a hell of a fight. Thank you, buddy. Okay. Let's turn this thing back around, throw back out there. So that fish was right out there on the mouth of that creek channel right there. So we're going to do the same thing. So right back out there. We got to get positioned back though. All right, where are we at? Where are we Number 3 on the old deadly. We caught that last one. There's a fish. They're right there, guys. They're on that point right there. That's the same spot. Might be a few of them there. This one don't feel very big. He's not. But another one out there. Before on the net. I'm gonna throw the jig this time, so I can get them to eat the jig. Another smaller one. I got an idea of where they're at now. Let's throw the jig. So they're over on this other point. So I'm sitting on the right side. The current's coming down towards me. I'm sitting on this bottom point. They're up on that one. I'm throwing up on that point and dragging it off right into the creek channel there. That's the second one I caught off the same spot. So we're gonna throw back up there again and see if we can get one to eat the old jig. Might get a better bite on the jig too, you never know. There's a couple of fish coming from like right here. Right here somewhere. Might be a fish right there. Yep, they're up there on that point. Where they're at. Right up there. Come on in here, bud. The old Ned rig. Eating her done. Another one. There we go. Alright, now, let me try throwing a jig up there again. Because they're eating that Ned rig like crazy. Kind of got an idea where the fish was. Like right in there. Damn. Hands are about frozen. Warm them up for a second. Alright, we're gonna make a little run down. Alright, so we're working our way on down the lake. I threw the jig a ton, threw the A-rig. I haven't caught anything except on the Ned rig, so. It is cold, it's freezing, and I'd say that's probably why we did just break off the jig though, so I don't even know if I'm gonna retie one on. I may just keep throwing the Ned. And I just wrapped it around a tree limb. All the way over there. I just got it free, baby. Let's go. Just got bit. Got him. They just want this Ned rig, man. That's all there is to it. Calm it down, sir. Another little one. Thanks, bud. That little dude was in about 11 foot of Watsa. Just dragging that Ned right across through there. Dragging her right along, brother. Little buddy picked it up. I felt him hit it. He was swimming towards me. There's another one. What in the world? A little better one. Same spot. Looks like there's something down there. A little rock or tree limb sticking out. Another one. Daggum Ned rig. Oh, they down there again, by golly. There's a tree out here. A little bit of cover. See if there's something over there on that bad boy. And there is. I feel it. He's got it. He's got it. A little better one. Yeah. No. Same size. I love it. Look at that fish. Get up here, boy. He was over there on that log. They might be up a little bit shallow, maybe, too. Now that the sun's popped out. Another one. Thanks, bud. He's right there on that pile of brush, a big old log sitting there. There might be more there. There might be more. Might turn out to be a halfway decent day, guys. There's another one. Same size. How fun. How fun. Deadly Nedley. Oh, there it is. Another one. Oh, it's cold. Yeah, that fish was right up there on that point. Just dragging that Ned rig, make that long cast, just pulling it back towards me and picked it up. Felt a little weight on there. Bada bang, bada boom. There she was. Oh my, that wind is unbearable. That wind wasn't blowing earlier, it wasn't that bad. Now that that wind's picked up, it's blowing directly onto my hands. That's bad. There it is, maybe. Yep, there. Right out here off this point, another little one. They're also little. They're stacked up out there. That little dude fell off in the kayak. Come on, little buddy. Calm down. I'll get you out of there. Little guy. Alright. See if we can catch a couple more. We're gonna head back. My hands about froze. They're right here off this point though. All right, guys, love it or hate it, the Ned rig just gets the job done. So, I mean, you know, I know there's a lot of guys that just refuse to throw a Ned rig. At the end of the day, me, I'm out fishing. I'm trying to catch fish. I'm trying to win tournaments. I'm trying to have fun. I throw a Ned rig a lot, especially this time of year when it's freezing cold outside, when it's snowing. You know, during the winter time is a really good time to throw a Ned rig. And yeah, I throw it. I threw a jig around yesterday. I threw an Alabama rig around yesterday. I was even like making several casts. So I'd catch a fish on a Ned rig. I'd make several casts on the jig, wouldn't get bit. I'd make several casts on the A rig, wouldn't get bit. I'd pick up the Ned rig and get bit. And one of my favorite plastics to throw on like a 3/8 ounce Ned head, or you know, sometimes you can even go heavier. The heavier, like yesterday, I'm fishing those creek channels, you know, those points. I'm sitting in probably 20-25 foot of water. I like to throw a really heavy head, as heavy as I can get. Sometimes same thing on the river. You know, a lot of you guys that watch my channel know I do a lot of river fishing, and you know, when that water's really thumping, you want to throw something heavy to get down there and some of those eddies. And I really like throwing that bigger Ned head, like a 3/8 ounce right there. And one of my favorite things to throw, and it gets bit everywhere, is the big TRD by Z-Man, the 4-inch TRD Elastec. Boom, that's one of my favorite things to throw. I'll throw that all year round, like especially on the river, you know, the lake. We got a tournament coming up. You already know I'm gonna be throwing that bad boy right there, and it's gonna get bit. I'm gonna catch fish, I always do. I know a lot of guys, like I said, don't like throwing a Ned rig. It is kind of a boring way to fish to some people. Me, like I said, I enjoy it because I'm going out there to fish. I'm trying to catch fish. I catch fish on that thing. You know, a lot of advanced anglers, you know, like throwing jigs and different lures, but I know there's a lot of people getting into the sport, you know, getting into fishing, especially after COVID, that, you know, I've seen a lot of posts, or I've had people message me personally like, man, what do I need to do to catch fish? I'm not catching fish like I should be. Tie on a Ned rig, guys. I'm telling you, just go out there, throw around a Ned, put it around laydowns, put it around any rocks and boulders, and just slow down a little bit and just drag that Ned. And there's so many different soft plastics you can throw. I mean, there's people that make their own soft plastics. You've got Berkeley, like I love like throwing the little Trooper. That's something that I throw a lot when I go on these little river trips with like John and Alex. And I picked that up from Rudd. I picked that little Trooper up from Rudd. But when we're going out on those little bitty tiny rivers, you know, 3 foot deep, average, you know, 2, 3, 4 foot deep, put a really light head. I know like John, he'll throw a Helgramite. Everyone knows that color right there. That's a John Dalton Creek Fishing Adventures thing right there. He'll throw like a 1/16 ounce jig head, real little. That way that thing's pretty much just barely falling, almost floating in the water. You can pretty much drift it in the current. That's something I do a lot on those smaller rivers. I'll downsize my Ned head. I'll throw a lot lighter weight, especially when I'm throwing like a Helgramite or, you know, something like a little Trooper. I'll downsize that Ned head in that current and throw those things and kind of let them drift. And you know, I can also put a bigger head, like right now I think that's a quarter ounce head. I'll throw that on the lake as well, around some of these bluff walls and rocks and stuff. And you know, it still falls relatively quick, just not as fast as like a 3/8 or something. And that thing, that little bitty thing right there, gets bit so much, it's crazy. And that thing is tiny, but that max scent, they love it. Something else I love doing, this is something I did probably 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, up on Cherokee fishing the Tennessee Bass Nation. I was throwing around like a 2.8 KAYAK up on Cherokee on a Ned head, EWG wide gap, and I end up winning that tournament. You know, those smallmouth love it. It's something you can throw, like I said, especially during the winter. I love throwing a small paddle tail. I can't remember what this is. This is like a Strike King, just a little raged swimmer or something. Little, I think it's a 3-inch or 3.2, still little. And these are a little bit, you know, tougher than your KAYAKs. You know, you get 1 or 2 fish on those things and they break, but I really love throwing a KAYAK on a Ned head. That gets bit a lot. So basically what I'm saying is, guys, if you are new to fishing, or, you know, say you're someone that wants to go out there and throw a jig all day, a lot of you guys wreck them on a jig, but sometimes slow down, sling a Ned rig. If you want to get bit, you're going to catch some fish. I'm going to go up here on one of these tournaments coming up, especially during the winter, and I'm going to sling around a Ned, and I'm telling you, I'm going to catch fish. And you just can't go wrong with it. I'm gonna leave my buddy Josh's Instagram link down below. That's who I get all of my Ned heads from. I buy a bunch of them at a time, tons of different sizes, big, little. I've got, you know, several packs of Ned heads. He hooks me up, and I love throwing these little EWG. They keep you from getting hung up as much, and like I said, you just run those bad boys like that right there. Pretty basically weedless. So yeah, Tennessee Custom Tackle, that's where I get all my Ned heads from. I'm gonna leave him link down below, like I said, on Instagram. Head over, check them out, and yeah, definitely one of the best ways I think to catch fish during the winter. You know, obviously you can throw drop shots and stuff like that, but leave a comment down below if you're one of these guys that really loves throwing a Ned rig during the winter time. So I'm definitely one of those guys. I know a lot of guys that love throwing it. Like I said, it don't bother me to get out there, especially when fishing's tough, in cold months, dragging that Ned head around, it gets bit. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't, please like, please subscribe. I'll see you boys on the next one. Peace. Also, one last thing, fishing show's coming up this month. I'll be there. I'll be working the River Sports booth. I'll probably stop over at my buddy John, Creek Fishing Adventures booth. He'll be there. I think he's got his own booth this year. He's gonna be selling hats and stuff. I'm sure I'll be over hanging out with him at some point. Come by, say what's up. Let's chit chat, guys. Till next time. Peace.